Hey guys, I hope you're having a great week. I'm really excited to be doing a Q&A again because I haven't done one of these now in quite some time. I was taking a little bit of a break in January from video stuff because I was working on so much sheet music stuff. I don't know if some of you guys saw it, but I did come out with this cover song book, sheet music book with Hal Leonard, so it's got a lot of my popular cover songs in it. Super excited to have that out. And then also I did all of Odyssey as well as my previous original album. So that kept me really busy in January, and then I'm getting back in the swing of things with videos now. I'm just going to be uploading Highland Spirit from Odyssey tomorrow on my main channel. Very excited about that. And I have a ton of stuff planned for later this year too. So it's good to be back in the swing of things, and thank you so much for sending in all of your questions on all the different social media platforms for this Q&A. I'm very excited to get started. Karu asks, why did you decide to begin playing anime series, video game songs, and not be a classical violinist? Well, honestly, I have a great respect for classical music, but it's just not the type of music that I'm passionate about. I've never felt like deeply connected to it. I still do play classical music and mostly like practicing and stuff like that, but the kind of music that I perform, whether it's, my own original stuff or of course like any of the soundtrack music, that's really where my heart's at. So that's why I decided to do that for all of my albums and YouTube channel and all that stuff. Savannah asks, do you have a favorite Broadway musical? If so, what is it? Yes, I love Broadway musicals, but probably my favorite is Les Mis. I love that one so much. I think the music is just beautiful. William asks, have you ever played The Devil Went Down to Georgia with anyone? Yes, actually, I collaborated with an awesome country vocal group called Home Free, and we actually got Charlie Daniels to be on that version of the song too. So he's playing the devil, he talks the devil part, and then he also plays the violin for the devil part, and then I'm basically playing the part of Johnny for all the violin stuff. So it's really fun. We're hoping to maybe do a video for it at some point if everyone's schedule works out, but for now you can definitely check it out. It's on Home Free's album. I'll put a link below if you want to check it out. David asks, have your dogs inspired any of your work, and if so, what track? Yeah, actually, one of the songs from Odyssey, it's called Hunter's Frontier. I named that after my dog Hunter, who passed away last year. That was definitely a very sad thing to go through, and it was right before I left. It was like 2 days before I left on my first European tour, so it was tough. He was such a good dog, so sweet, like definitely wanted to honor his memory in some way. So I named the happiest track on the album, Hunter's Frontier, after our dog Hunter, because he was just the happiest creature I knew. And so it's kind of my way of honoring him. Squeakosaurus Rex, I like that name, asks, what advice would you give a beginner violinist? I get frustrated when I can't learn things quickly. Don't worry, you're not alone. It's definitely, I think, probably one of the most frustrating instruments to learn when you're just starting out, especially because there's so much technique involved in producing like a decent sound, and everybody sounds bad in the beginning, don't worry. It's rough. You just have to power through and, keep practicing and everything. Regular practice schedules, that's probably the best advice that I can give to you. But yeah, don't worry, don't get discouraged because, I still have days where I get discouraged, if a part just isn't sounding right or whatever, but it's just a matter of practice and patience and all that. Person says, I'm living in Jackson Hole this summer and was wondering what places you might recommend seeing or doing. Oh, Harrison, you are like living my dream. I would love to live in Jackson Hole for the summer. For those of you who don't know, like Jackson Hole is probably like my favorite place to visit. We've been doing a family vacation there once a year for the last few years now, and it's so beautiful. I'm very inspired by nature and just the beauty there with the mountains and everything. It's just really, really breathtaking. So I personally just kind of like hanging out. I like doing hikes. We don't do anything crazy. We tried whitewater rafting last time we went, and that was really fun, but I just enjoy being there. I just think it's so pretty and everything, the scenery and all of that. And of course, there's a lot of really delicious restaurants downtown too, so I love eating, and that's another favorite thing to do. I hope you have an awesome time. I'm sure it's gonna be a ton of fun. All right, we got Jax now for a couple of questions. You wanna answer some? Oh, this is a good one. Steven asks, when playing League of Legends, who's better, you or your husband? What do you think? That is definitely a tough one because we both have games where, you know, maybe we're having a really good game or maybe we're having a really bad game. I think it's pretty even, honestly. It just depends on the game and the matchup and everything. Oh, this is great. Peter Hollins asks, when are you going to work with Peter Hollins again? And that has quite a few of you thumbs upping it. That is a great question, Peter. Of course, as you guys know, Peter and I are friends and also like working together. So I would say, hey, we should definitely make sure that we make something happen for later this year. Let's do it. Blue Butterfly asks, are you a fan of Stranger Things? Ah, yes, I love that show so much. I cannot wait for the second season to come out. I had a ton of questions from a lot of you guys about tour and, you know, if I'd be coming certain places or when's my next tour and all of that. And I did want to just say I don't have anything planned for this year, to be honest. I'm going to be doing performances this year, but they're going to be just kind of like one-off engagements, you know, maybe like just one show on a weekend here or there, something like that. I have like some anime convention type appearances later on as well, maybe some more college stuff. But yeah, I'm not planning on doing any of my own touring this year. Last year was just a lot, and it was something that I was really, you know, thinking about whether or not I wanted to continue with it. And I kind of have to decide that this year, because if I want to do another one next year, we'll have to start planning, you know, quite far in advance. But something that I'm still kind of like weighing the pros and cons. It's just like a big personal decision for me more than anything. And I do love performing. I love meeting you guys, and I'd love to find more ways to get out there and perform. I'm just not so sure doing like the whole tour life thing is for me, honestly. So I'll keep you posted. I'll definitely keep performing, like I said, but as far as like a tour where I'm just, you know, going at it for a month straight or something like that, not really sure how I feel about that moving forward, but yeah, I'll let you guys know. Okay, Moises asks, what wireless transmitter do you use in your shows? Well, let me show you. So this is it. It's really cool, actually. It's a Line 6 Relay G10 is what it's called, and I was almost thinking it was going to be too good to be true because it's very inexpensive, and also it just is so simple. I've been super happy with this. I'm not endorsed by them or anything. I just like it. So I would highly recommend it because, yeah, like I said, it is very affordable compared to a lot of the other systems out there. And for me, it really worked well. Michaela asks, when you write original music, do melodies come to you spontaneously, or do you have to go into a certain space to specifically write? That is a good question. It really depends. I think mostly I come up with them while I'm specifically like trying to. I'll a lot of the time like have done a backtrack first, and then I'll just keep listening to it and messing around with it on the violin, and eventually something will kind of emerge from that, and that's, you know, then I'll take it in that direction or whatever. But it really depends. Like there have been times where I've just thought of a certain melody and I'll like hum it into my phone, I'll record it or something like that, and then go back to it later. But usually it's because I'm like consciously trying to write at that particular moment. Leslie asks, how do you respond to hate comments / people? That's a good question. You know, it's one of those things where I kind of don't anymore. I used to try and respond to literally every single message, every single comment, and at a certain point I just had too many videos and too many different places where I was posting to keep up with everything, and so I wasn't able to respond to everybody anymore. And I made this rule for myself when I would see like nasty comments and want to respond to them, that, hey, if I don't have time to respond to all of the nice comments, of which there were like way more nice comments always on my stuff, thank you guys, by the way. If I didn't have time to respond to every single one of those nice people making a comment, then why in the world would I ever take time to respond to somebody who was trying to make me feel bad? So I really don't respond to stuff like that anymore, and I don't really patrol my own stuff just because I have so many videos out there now. You guys have done an amazing job of kind of like moderating, or, you know, just like marking things as spam or stuff that's like really gross or whatever, and I really appreciate that because, you know, I don't want to see that kind of stuff on any of my videos or want my audience to have to see that. You know, I've been very like G-rated with my stuff over the years and plan to keep it that way. That's just who I am and everything. So yeah, I think the hate comments and people and all of that, I made a post maybe about a month ago or so just about some really weird incident I had on Instagram Live. But besides that, I really just don't address it too much. Like there's way more nice people out there, and life is too short to focus on any of that negative stuff. You know, of course, everybody has good and bad days, and so it doesn't mean that the comments don't hurt all the time if I do happen to see them, you know, but I've gotten very used to it over the years. And like I said, it's just keeping the mentality that there are so many more nice people than mean people, and you just gotta ignore the mean people. Okay, this person asks, are you an introvert or an extrovert? It really depends on the situation, honestly. I've taken a couple of those personality tests before, and I am ENTP, so it's kind of a little bit of a balance, but it's interesting stuff. Well, thank you guys all so much for submitting so many great questions. As always, I had a lot of fun with this, and appreciate you guys doing that. And also, side note, it's my birthday today, and I just wanted to thank all of you who have been sending me such nice messages and comments, because I've gotten a ton of stuff from you guys already, and it's just very nice. I feel very loved, and I appreciate that very much. So it's the big 3-0 today, so I'm getting up there in age, but not doing anything crazy. We pre-gamed last night with seeing the new Beauty and the Beast movie, which I really, really enjoyed, by the way. And then just going out to dinner tonight, and then probably just like hang out, maybe finish Iron Fist on Netflix. Not really sure how I feel about that, but it is fun watching those series, so we'll see. But thank you guys again so much. We'll do another one of these soon, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys later.